The other thing you mentioned is the spend that people are making. One of the trends we're hearing about is companies going public or on that path with the economy kind of looking positive and cash possibly, hopefully freeing up a bit. So we've had some good experience in working with companies who are heading down that path, trying to get their game plan together for a public offering or some other kind of transaction. Some of the great companies that are out there, brilliant product, smart people, from a controls point of view, completely immature, right? That's not where they focus their people, their talent, their spend on. So, to get into a company early who wants to make some kind of transaction, to help them understand what that path looks like, what the IPO path, what the timing. Our experiences, everybody gives themselves less time than they think it's going to take to put in controls, to change the culture, right? The tone at the top. All those things have to be considered, put in place, work with the external auditors to make sure everybody's comfortable, tested. So when you want to hit that button, there's no surprises for the investors or the roadshow.
Right, I think you bring some great points there around pre-IPO. One of the things that we've seen with working organizations like that is those companies are built to grow and to work and to operate. They're not built for compliance in mind.
Exactly.
So the lift on controls to get to a mature level that's going to satisfy audit requirements can be challenging. So having really strong collaboration with sponsors and with folks in the business to make sure the controls not only are going to work and stand up to the rigors of an audit, but that they're going to be something that will be embedded in the business and operate on a day-to-day basis is a challenge to kind of strike that balance.
Like for cybersecurity, right? Cybersecurity always starts with an assessment. Where are you today versus where do you want to be in the future? So taking a practical roadmap approach to cyber will allow you to identify, do you have the right people? Do you have the right process? For example, an incident response plan. Do you have the right tooling in place to support either preventing a breach, or in the event a breach occurs, are you able to recover, right? So it's a good way to kind of think about a maturity curve around cyber. When you think about controls, right, controls follows a similar roadmap. It goes from, emerging, maturing to mature, and there's a curve with that, right? So to what Ray and JP were just sharing, companies that are starting out for a pre-IPO or some sort of transaction are certainly more in the emerging space. And then as they continue to embed controls, they go from emerging to maturing. And then companies that have been public for a number of years, those have typically the most mature control environments. So wanted to kind of just put that in context because there's a lot that we talked about, but for those out there that are viewing this, right, it can seem overwhelming, and that's fair, right? But there is a practical, pragmatic, easy to follow and repeatable approach to doing this and making sure that you're setting yourself up for the greatest success and ultimately allowing you to reach your North Star as a business.